Hi, welcome to the Summer Home. I'm Carrie, and today we are going to talk about how to decorate a console table. I'm going to share with you what goes above it, below it, next to it, and of course, a simple formula for styling the table itself. And make sure to watch until the end because I'm going to share a bonus with you that you will not want to miss. By the way, these styling tips could work for a sideboard in a dining room, a dresser in your bedroom, an entryway table, storage cabinet in a living room, and of course, a console table. Let's get started. First, I want to talk about what goes above the table and below the table. I like to style a mirror or a large piece of artwork above a console table. There are so many different styles of mirrors that there is definitely an option for everyone. You can add texture with a woven mirror, give a vintage vibe with an antique gold mirror, or a more modern look with a sleek black round mirror. By the way, I have lots of mirrors linked below in the description of this video that will work for styling over your console table. I'm also going to be linking the mirrors that I have in my own home that you're going to see in this video. If I have a table in a room that already has a mirror, or if I can see a mirror from the sight line, then I will usually go with styling a piece of artwork above that console table. And likewise, if I already have a large piece of artwork nearby, I will style a mirror above the table. In this shot of my living room, you can see that when I'm standing in my kitchen, I can see the artwork above my fireplace, along with the artwork in the hallway leading back to our bedroom. So I placed the round mirror instead of artwork, so it could complement the artwork instead of competing with it. And here's another shot of my living room with a different mirror above a different console table. And in this one, I did add some leaning artwork in the vignette, but ensured that it was complementary to the larger piece of artwork. If you are going to style artwork above the console table, the sky is literally the limit. Have fun with it. This is a place that you can really show your personality. I have styled everything from a super subtle landscape to a not so subtle horse in my entryway. It's just artwork. You can change it out when you're ready for a new look. And I have artwork linked below in the description of this video, including all the artwork you're going to see in my home in this video. Okay, let's talk about styling an entryway console table for a minute. Some people love a mirror in the entryway so that they can do a quick check before they leave, and you really can't argue with that. That being said, I love artwork in an entryway above a console table as well, because it gets to set the tone for your home, because it's usually the room that guests see first when they enter into your house. There's no right or wrong regarding a mirror or artwork in the entryway, it's just a matter of preference. Let's talk for a moment about the size of the artwork or the mirror above the console table. I like the size of the piece of artwork or mirror to be roughly 2/3 the width of the furniture piece below it. So if you have a 60-inch console table, you will want a 40-inch wide mirror or piece of artwork. To give you an idea of what this looks like, this cabinet here is 60 inches and the mirror is 39 inches round. And this arched mirror is 36 inches wide and the table is 53 inches wide. And lastly, the horse artwork shown in this vignette is 40 inches wide and the table is 59 inches wide. All three of these examples are roughly 2/3 the size of the furniture piece below it. And remember, this is just a rule of thumb. There are plenty of other ways to style above a table, such as layering mirrors and artwork, a vertical piece of artwork, but to keep it simple, this is just a good rule to follow. One more tip. You want to hang the artwork above the console table just a couple of inches, so it's roughly 60 inches to the center of the artwork or the mirror from the floor. Okay, let's talk about what we're going to style below the console table now that we've covered above the console table. So to balance out the top, I love to style, if there's room for it, ottomans, stools, or even baskets below it. And if your table doesn't allow for it, you can style a basket or a stool next to the console table, which I also love. And if your space has room for both of it, like in this vignette here, go for it. I also love this look. You can see in this photo, I have a basket styled next to a table with ottomans. And in this example, I have styled a stool next to the table. And as far as what goes in the baskets, either beside it or under it, this is completely up to you and you can have fun with it. It could be something practical like shoes, or it could be something decorative like pretty pillows and throw blankets. And as a rule of thumb, make sure whatever items you style below the table are tall enough to leave only a small space between them and the console table. You don't want the items that are under the table to look like out of scale or look too small and be lost. Okay, now onto what we should style on top of the console table. So there are literally thousands of different combinations and different things that you could do on top of the table. That being said, I do have a simple kind of rule of thumb that I follow most of the time. And that is to add something of height on each end of the table, and from there layer in smaller accessories of different heights, sizes, and textures. Let me explain this in a little bit more detail. You want to start with the larger pieces like lamps, a large pot or vase, a leaning piece of artwork, or tall candlesticks. And I like to match the scale on one side versus the other side. And what I mean by this is that if you add a lamp on one side, style a vase of roughly the same size on the opposite side. Or if you're styling a vase filled with flowers on one side, you'd want to lean a piece of artwork the same size on the opposite side. And here's an example of what I mean by leaning artwork. You can see it's roughly the same size as the pot filled with the fresh flowers on the opposite side. And here's another example of a table styled with leaning artwork. Here I have a lamp, a large pot, and the leaning artwork. Next to it is a small stack of books. Again, it's all about trying different things to see what you like. You don't have to stick to the one side, other side, and then stuff in the middle. Play around with it, have fun. That's what it's all about. And you're not gonna figure out what you like aesthetically until you start playing around with it. If you have a long enough console table, you can style 2 table lamps on each end of it. I really, really like that look as well. And by the way, I keep using the term artwork, but you can absolutely substitute in personal photos, family photos instead of the artwork. Okay, after we've placed the substantial pieces, the big pieces like the lamps and the large vases, this is when we're gonna layer in the different smaller items. And the key to this part is to use different heights, sizes, and textures. These items can be a tray or a small basket to corral keys and sunglasses near a front door, or maybe a candle and accessories stacked on a few books. I love to use functional items such as bowls when I'm styling my console tables. These can be filled with practical items like mail or items you need to take out to the car, or style them empty or filled with decor, which I also love. Books and trays are a really great way to add height to the vignette, and decorative boxes are great for adding extra storage. I saw a video recently with an idea that I loved. This woman shared that she used storage boxes on her entryway table to store everything she needs to take with her when she leaves. So if she's switching out her purse, she could grab her must-haves from the box. Things such as lip gloss, mirror, hand lotion, her credit cards, etc. Another great tip, and something that I do all the time, is to add a small vase to a stack of coffee table books, and you can either leave this vase empty or you can style it with fresh or faux flowers. This obviously adds a pretty touch, but also another element of height. Another great way to add height, and this is a great idea if you're styling like a sofa table behind a sofa, but it's to use an art easel to prop up a piece of art. And if you have the room, you can use an art easel to prop a smaller piece of artwork and style a stack of books next to it, like you can see here. When styling your console table, it is all about adding layers of interest and height and having fun with it. Here is an example of where I didn't style similar heights on both sides and it works. Sometimes it's just about trying different things, playing around with styling until you find what works in your space. And you know what, one of my favorite things about like this simple formula that I use most of the time when styling my console tables, that is that this works for season to season. So if you want to change up your console table look, it is so simple to do so with just a few little switches. You could add fresh flowers in the summer, autumn stems in the fall, pretty spring stems or fresh tulips in the spring, and candles during the winter months. Okay, to summarize my tips for styling a console table. First, you're gonna start with a mirror or artwork above. And then you're gonna balance out the mirror or the artwork with something below it if room allows. So that something below could be an ottoman, stools, or baskets. And if space doesn't allow, then you could style something next to it. Add lighting and other substantial items on each side of the table. Group items so they don't feel randomly placed. Always remember to use different heights, sizes, and textures. And adding storage pieces is always a good idea, whether this is stacked boxes on top or baskets below or near it. And most importantly, like I mentioned a couple different times, have fun with it. Speaking of fun, we are nearing the end, which means it is time for me to share my bonus with you all. But first, if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. Okay, the bonus. I have created a PDF for you all that you can download where I have linked my must-have items for styling console tables. I have broken them up into 9 different categories, such as boxes and bowls, lighting, artwork, etc., so you can easily shop everything by category. So what did you think? Did you find something most helpful? Are you excited to maybe try a new look? Do you have a favorite look? I would love to hear from you guys, so leave it in the comments below. You can shop items that I shared in the video, plus a lot more. It's all linked in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.